Hello again, my name is Rodney Reynolds and I am the Video Geek, and this week I'll be looking at a modification to the Abit KT7A-RAID motherboard. But this is a voltage modification. Remember folks, these videos are completely unedited and these are only my opinions. Okay, what you're looking at here of course is the modifications. This is going from, if you can see, this is, remember, on the KT7A-RAID motherboard. If you notice the fan on the motherboard, it's just to the left of the fan, connecting there. And also going down to the BC153. So make sure you connect it to the BC153 upper, not the... This is the one that I've used anyhow. It doesn't work for me. Now, one thing I should note is that I tried using the same K on this board as I did on the KT7, just to play KT7, and it did not work. What I did discover is that you needed to use like a 24, 25, 26, 27K resistor to get this thing to overclock in the sense of the voltage. What I have on this one, if you can see here, I have actually two resistors. I have one which is 2K and one which is 22K, so a total of 24K, and this was the best I found. I had a couple 1K to make it 25, 26, got less and less and less. 24 seemed to be pretty ideal. I got up to 2.12 volts, which is very high, of course, for overclocking. Wonderful, certainly, overclocking the lines. Now, I had it to 1.1 and a 1.2, and it didn't need that kind of voltage at all. It actually works fine on the clock at default voltage, which is for the keyboards 1 and 1.2. It's around 1.75 volts. So with those CPUs, there is really no need for this modification unless you're going crazy and have a cryo case and use all kinds of alternate cooling on the CPU to maximize utility. So again, I mean, the first thing you get obviously is a resistor, and for this one, 24K I would recommend, and just join it like I mentioned here to the, you can't really see it here, but I'll try to zoom in here. You can kind of see it. And it's connected to the BC153 upper. And going here, right here. Well, this is just left. Of course, remember when you're doing any kind of modification like this, remember to take your time, have a load of patience, and use the right tools. You'll need some solder, and you'll need what I recommend a special soldering iron. Something that's not certainly 40 watts, something that's 15 watts or 20 watts, something that's not going to fry your motherboard and you apply it to the heat. If you are using a 40 watt soldering iron, I would recommend you maybe sharpen the tip to a nice fine point, and so you can get in there and actually do this. The trickiest part of this, of course, is connecting it to the BC153. That's a very, very tricky job. You have to make sure, if you're doing it with the case and everything in it, you have to make sure that the iron doesn't touch any of the cables, anything else that's in the case. I recommend you actually take the motherboard completely out of the case with nothing else on the motherboard. Do this modification slowly, take your time, and once it's done, reassemble everything and put it back. Like I said, as I mentioned before, if you have a Duron and you wanted to max the hell out of it, then certainly this modification is recommended if you want to get the most out of your Duron. I have, for example, a 750 mAh amp. I can get it stable, no problem at all, at 1020, so that's 1020 megahertz from a 750 CPU. That, of course, is at max voltage, 2.12 volts. And a lot of people, of course, kind of go, wow, that's high voltage for a CPU. It certainly is. And you certainly can burn the CPU out over time, which will be that low voltage. But if you have adequate cooling, I'm using an FOP32 Global Wind heatsink and fan on this, and the idle temperature is at 2 volts. Now this is at 2 volts, and I have it clocked at 1 gigahertz and 1005 megahertz. So I don't have it maxed out. I just kind of went to the max and backed it off a little, and went to 2 volts instead of 2.12 volts, just to be on the safe side. Because remember, when you actually set the BIOS without this voltage modification to 1.85 volts, in reality you're getting actually around 1.9392, sometimes 1.95. So when you set the BIOS to 1.85, which is normal, it is actually around 1.9293, 1.95. So when you're going to 201 volts, it's not a big increase at all. I'll sum up this video by stating that the voltage modification is really not necessary for keyboards. It's only really necessary for if you have a Duron and you want to max it way up to its maximum potential. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds, and this has been another video review. Please remember to check out my website at www.thevideogeek.com.